Hey guys, you're now listening to Intentionally Me with Sophie on I Am Refocused Radio and my co-host Shemaiah. Now, let's get into it.
Hey, this is I Am Refocused Radio, and man, we are here once again on Monday, so you already know. My partner in crime, Sophie's in the building on the 12th floor. We about to do this segment, Intentionally Me, and we have a big episode for y'all. Yes. Not only are you going to have homework, but you're going to be quizzed afterwards. We're going to be talking about personalities today. So, man, Sophie's killing it. She's doing big things. She has a big event coming down pretty soon. Was it December 15th?
It is December 15th.
Boom, we flowing. You know what I'm saying? I'm rapping. You know what I'm saying? I'm rapping without the beat.
I mean, you're in a flow state right now.
Oh, yeah.
This flow frequency, I love it. I love it.
But that's what happens when you turn the game on. You know what I'm saying? I'm just zoned in. Like, I'm just, boom, hitting my targets. But no, for real, today, we have you in the building. Thanks for coming by. We all busy, man. We busy, and we taking time right now to talk to you, the audience, the listener. And we're going to be talking about personalities because we all got one. Mm-hmm. Mine's very chill. Sound like Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah.
That's why we have this good yin and yang on this podcast because Shemaiah's like, oh, yeah. And I'm over here like, oh, yeah. I'm like right when
she keeps me upbeat, man.
And he makes me chill. He tells me, hey, it's okay to be chill. And I'm like, hey, Shemaiah, let's sing some Taylor Swift or something. And he's like, God.
Nah. Like, let me remix that real quick and put some R&B in there.
There we go.
But no, today's topic, we're talking about personalities. So, without further ado, Sophie, let us know, man, what is it about personalities that you want to talk about today and the details of that? So,
as Shemaiah was saying, everybody has a personality. It's all very different. Shemaiah's is a lot chill, very flow, very, let's just do this. And I'm
the easy button. Yeah,
he's easy. While I feel like I can be a pretty easy person, go with the flow. That's something I really love and admire about myself. I'm pretty like minimal when it comes to relationships and people. Like I don't ever ask much except for like respect and reciprocation and stuff like that. And actually what I'm saying about myself is perfect because that actually ties into my type 2 personality. You're probably asking, what is a type 2 personality? Well, there's this really great quiz that we're going to be putting in the description of this episode. And your homework is to go take this quiz, see what personality type you have. And I'm going to be talking about a little bit of my personality type. And my personality type is a type 2 personality, and they're the more empathetic, like humans on this earth. They're the people who are more emotion-based. They're more driven. They're more in tap with other people's emotions too, and they can really feel that energy of rooms. They can feel the energy of people around them and stuff. And this isn't some hippy-dippy like, oh, energy meditation, da-da-da-da-da. This will actually really help you in your business relationships, in your personal relationships, and in life in general. Because if we don't know what our personality types, if we don't know our strengths, our weaknesses, we can never expand from there. Because while it's great to know our strengths and we got to keep going, we also need to know what areas in life we can work on. And if we're in a situation, we can say, I know based on my personality type, I tend to put a lot of emotion into situations. While that might not be a bad thing because I know I'm always coming from my heart and I'm always thinking about other people's emotions first, sometimes for type 2 personality peoples like myself, it's hard to move past the emotion of a situation sometimes. Like you can take things to heart when people didn't even mean it to take it to heart. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And that's just something that I've been a lot more conscious about. So with my type 2 personality, I'm very focused on details and a very organizational person. Sometimes. I mean, that's one of my weaknesses too, is sometimes I can get really disorganized, but it's an organized, disorganized. Like I can say in my room, like if someone asks, hey, where's a paperclip? I'm so organized, but disorganized. I'll be like, look on my dresser on the floor to the bottom right of it to the bottom right leg. It's like, I know where everything is, but it looks so messy to other people.
I'd be like, we're going to the store real quick.
Yeah. And so with my type 2 personality, we're very, very outgoing and we're focused on goals, and respect is so important, and we value success. And it's not that materialistic success that we value, it's seeing that growth and feeling those emotions, because everything has emotions. I mean, even if they're bad or good. And something that I always think is nothing is bad or good. Just thinking makes it so. Because while a situation might seem bad to me, it might be good for someone else, and vice versa. Just like how on an episode of probably about 2 weeks ago, Shemaiah and I were talking about a garden and how the weeds might benefit other things, but they don't benefit us. And so when we realize that thinking makes things bad or good, that's when we can really take our power back. And that's when we can really look at our personality and our strengths and weaknesses and say, okay, right now, the situation I'm in, I'm choosing to look at the good, or I'm choosing to look at the bad. Because in every single situation, even if it feels like rock bottom, even if it feels like just the downfall of your whole life as of in this moment, there is something good to look at. Even if it doesn't feel that way, there always is something good to see. And I went through, like, once again, I am not just speaking this because I've never been through anything before in my life or nothing like that, because I have been through situations where I was in a spot where probably about 2 or 3 years ago, more like 2, I was in a really big spot where I would say it was probably the quote unquote worst part of my life. And the reason I say that it might have been the worst part of my life is because I was going through so many mental health things, and it tied back to a lot of the people I was with. And why I label that the worst part of my life, I think that's more of like a, how do I say, it's more of an attention thing, attention grabber, like, ooh, why was it the worst part of your life? Well, it was the situations, but not the outcomes. You know, the situations I faced were very tricky, but honestly, it was the biggest breakthrough of my life. Those spots where I felt like I was going down and I felt like I was just going downhill, that's when I was actually just building the momentum to go up.
And two, a lot of times, speaking of personalities, a lot of times we show it at different times.
You just know how to act around certain people.
Yeah, perfect example. All right, perfect example. Someone calls your phone, right? Mm-hmm. And you know it's a family member. Yeah. Well, if it's a family member, you're going to have a certain tone in your voice, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to have a certain way you kind of flow. Yeah. But if it's like a job, you're going to be like, ooh. Yeah. You're going to be a lot more professional.
If you're not
your boss.
Yeah, you're not going to answer the phone, hey, dog.
Yeah, if it's your client, you're not going to say, hey, what's up, man? Hey.
That's how I answer the phone to Shemaiah, because we're buddies like that.
Yeah, but if it's a different person with, different circumstances, you're going to have that, what we call a professional voice.
Exactly.
You're going to be kind of using different vocabulary. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of ties in what you're talking about today, because personality is just all about tone and how you carry yourself sometimes.
Exactly.
Because, for example, another one, if you don't know someone too well, you're going to kind of, what someone's told me before, you kind of advertise all your best side and never your
vulnerable
flaws,
sides. Yeah,
because you kind of like testing, all right, is this person I could trust? Is this someone that you kind of run tests sometimes when you're dealing with people, period. And that's kind of like the norm. We kind of do it naturally and we don't even understand we're doing it. Yeah, it's just something that kind of happens.
Yeah. And something I also always remind myself is that your authenticity of your personality is just transparency.
It'll eventually show too.
Exactly.
There's no way you can hide too long, because it's like once people know you,
there's no going back.
They know you, man.
It's just like something I always think about, and I think back on 2 to 3 years ago, back when I was going through all of these different things. You don't necessarily remember the things that people did for you. You just remember how it made you feel. Yeah. You remember how that personality made you feel. And going back to my type 2 personality, once again, I'm a people's pleaser. That's what my personality is. And I'm going to admit it right now. I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys because I trust y'all. Y'all, we connect. I sometimes, a lot of the time, have a big problem with saying no to people.
Oh, me too.
You're probably a type 2 too.
They call me the nice guy.
That's literally, I'm not even kidding. There was this one situation, and you also have to learn how to put up boundaries, and that can be really hard for people who are people pleasers and I know a lot of you guys can definitely relate to this, because there's a lot of people. Once again, I always say this, you're on this frequency with us. That's why you're listening. That's why it was put out. So this message is for you.
I think a lot of times, just to chime in real quick, is reason why people like us are always yes, because most of the time we're trying to avoid conflict. Mm-hmm. You know, we're the kind of people, it's like, let me just say yes, so that way we knock this out, and then boom, I can just cut it off after that.
Exactly.
But we're so nice. We never turn sour.
No.
We're not that candy commercial for sour then sweet.
Yeah, exactly. And a big problem that type 2 personalities like us is sometimes people can see us as doormats.
And weak.
Exactly.
Until they get on the bad side.
No, that is absolutely true. And
then we get them.
You know, exactly.
Put them in check.
And I'm not even kidding, because for me, it's just, for me, like, you either know, like, we're chill, and I have no beef with anyone. Like, me, if someone never apologizes to me, I will live perfect and I will wish them the best, because even if you don't get an apology, you're forgiving them, not for them, but for yourself. You need to forgive everyone that's ever done you wrong, even if it's the worst. That doesn't mean you need to forget, and that doesn't mean you need to be friends with them, and that doesn't mean you need to...
naive.
Yeah, but it's... Once you forgive people for what they've done to you,
you move on.
You move on, and you release these ties. You have these scissors, and you're literally cutting it off. And whenever you forgive someone, you're not cutting it negatively. And once again, I wanted to talk about the circle of energy today too, which goes into the personality types. And something that a lot of us type 2 people is we give and we give, but it eventually pays back, because whatever energy you put in, good or bad, will always boomerang back to you. Yep. So if you're mean to people, expect people to be mean to you.
Yeah, you plant it, you're going to grow, and then you're going to eat it.
Yeah. And it's so true. And so there's this really funny meme on Instagram for type 2 personalities. And it says, like, I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% willing to help you.
Wow.
So they have, once you take this test, you're going to get all these different links to all these really, really cool posts to check out, to look at your weaknesses, to see how you can conspire in these weaknesses. And I also wanted to touch on something too. There's a difference between positive people, nice people, and genuine people.
Break it down.
So a genuine person can be positive or negative, because when you're genuine, that just means you have a true personality and you're willing to show it. Whether it's a energy vampire personality, which we've talked about before on the show, or if it's the giver personality, or if you're a mediator. You have these genuine personalities that you're there to show. And what Shemaiah was just saying, you have different voices for different people. And that doesn't mean you're...
in situations.
Exactly. And that doesn't mean you're not genuine if you change it up a little bit. That just means you know how to respond, not react. Because reacting is very different from responding. It's just like, I always say this, if someone flips you off on the highway, are you choosing to respond or react? You're reacting if you flip them off. Because a reaction is, I don't even think about it, I'm just going to do it. But a response is, hey, you know what? I honestly don't know what they're going through today. Maybe they were in a rush to go meet someone at the hospital. Maybe their wife is giving birth. Maybe something like that. And they're just so crazy right now. They're just like, their mind's everywhere. And maybe they didn't even realize they did it. They just reacted themselves. And if you want to stop that chain of it keeping going, then just don't react to it. You can respond and just say, I wish that person the best day ever.
That ties into what we're going to be talking about too, living in the moment, because if you live in the moment, then something like that happens to you. Maybe not that extreme, but maybe someone, I don't know, you spoke to someone and they ignored you or whatever.
Exactly. Or someone didn't hold the door open.
You can live in the moment and say, okay, no big deal. Move on with life. But say something like that causes, some highlight reel play in your head or some negative experience. Mm-hmm. Well, that can dictate your moment, and you kind of think about the past.
Exactly.
Of how you've been treated or whatever, and then you just go berserker. Like you just overreact and you just say, you just go crazy because you lose your mind at that moment.
And assumptions lead to the worst conclusions.
Boom.
Literally.
Boom.
I mean, in business, in relationships, in friendships, assuming people are doing things, assuming people are saying things,
it's funny how we can think all of that in our heads. Like we have a little script we hand out to all these imaginary characters.
Yeah. And then half the time they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And you're like, wait, what? You didn't actually do that?
You didn't imagine what I was imagining?
Yeah. And they're like, no, are you crazy or something? You're like, yeah, I'm crazy.
But we got to break that down real quick because I think people don't admit that. Like if you really think, but sometimes we can actually rehearse some things going on that doesn't even exist because we're assuming something's about to happen or someone's thinking a certain way, right? So for a perfect example, say you're busy, Sophie, right?
Yeah.
I text Sophie and say, hey, so what topic you got for us tomorrow? Crickets, right? So say it's crickets and it's like, 5 minutes before she shows up to the studio. See, if I was like, live in the past because maybe I had bad experience with people like breaking stuff off or whatever. Yeah. I could either live in the past, be like, oh shoot, here we go again. She thinks she sold this and she ain't got time to answer a simple question. And by all this time, you probably prepping for this big event on December 15th. You know what I'm saying? You're busy.
Also, I'm a full-time college student too. Boom. I got 2 tests this week.
Boom. So what I'm trying to make a point is that assumption. When you're trying to assume that someone might be a certain way or whatever, you messing yourself up and you messing up other opportunities.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily...
That makes sense real quick, though?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. And it's not necessarily, is this belief true or not?
Sophie's my double check, yeah.
Yeah. He checks me, I check him. We're a team. You gotta bounce back. But it's not necessarily, is this belief true or false? Is it serving me right now? You know what I mean? Because that assumption that Shemaiah could have made is maybe it's not serving him and it's in the back of his head all day. But then what if I come in later, I'm like, hey, Shemaiah, I dropped my phone. It's not even turning on.
Right. That's the funniest part, because you can be, for another example, say like you're supposed to do something with a family member at an event or whatever. And they forgot like the present for a birthday party.
Yeah.
You can either be understanding and say, "Oh man,
I'm just glad you're our present moment. I'm just glad you're here." And that's a big thing with type 2 people is if I'm not a material person, I don't want you to bring me a present to my birthday. I don't want you to bring me this. I just want you to show up.
Boom.
My love language, which is also another quiz that you should take if you really want to better relationships and everything too, is I'm a words of affirmation person. That doesn't mean I don't need gifts. I don't need any of that. I just need you to say, hey, like, I appreciate you. Or, hey, that was really cool what you did. Or just say, hey, how are you?
But yeah, I think all this is tying up to what we're talking about with personalities because as you interact with folk, you start to learn theirs and yours. Because the more you're kind of like in the now versus worrying about the future or what it might hold or worrying about what might happen in the past and what you think you might be used to. Because like I said, you can be your biggest enemy in a way by trying to assume that everybody's out to get you or everybody's doing this, to do that because of this and that happened years ago.
And when you believe everyone's out to get you, then everyone is out to get you.
Yeah, because you're acting weird.
Exactly. No.
And you don't even realize
you're literally meditating on those thoughts. You need to flip your
act it out.
You need to flip your script.
Boom.
Because I always talk about manifestation, and manifestation, I'm not talking about it's going to appear right in front of you right now. I mean, there's yogis that have done that, but we're not yogis.
No.
But what I'm saying is the solution to manifestation is not just like meditating on it for 10 minutes every day. It's a combination of how you think, act, and feel. How you think. What am I thinking about this person? You can say, it is natural for this person to admire me. It is natural for this person and I to have great communication. It is natural for this person and I to have a great synergy when we work. Now when I say this is natural, you start getting into those feelings of actually being and you flip your frequency and you get into the state of being, which is opposed to a state of thinking. Because a lot of the time when people think of law of attraction, they think, oh, I just need to think it, it's going to be there. No, that thinking is supposed to be a tool to get you into the being. Because I can say, hey, Shemaiah and I have a great synergy. And then I just affirm that into the air. And then we start feeling, oh, we do have this great synergy. And then now that we're feeling it, now it's actually coming into the real. I mean, when I was first talking about Intentionally Me, this podcast, I was thinking, wow, that would be so awesome. And I kind of brought up to Shemaiah, and look at us right now. You're listening to Intentionally Me, the podcast.
How many episodes we have so far?
I think like 5 or 6.
And we're killing it, man. And before we wrap up today, because I know people are like, man, where can I find this quiz? And she's about to tell you how you're going to find this quiz. Because not only is she going to tell you about it, we're going to have it in the description. But another sports analogy. I promise you it'll be quick. So, to translate a little bit what she's saying to all the people out there who love sports, check this out. When you have a coach breaking down plays, let's think about that for a moment. What are plays designed to do? Man, this is good, y'all. Plays,
you just looked at me. You was like, "You ready for this one?" I'm like, "Yeah, Shemaiah, go ahead."
Because plays are designed to what? Better the situation that you're currently in during the game. So when the coach designs a play, it's really designed to move you forward. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's to score a point or if it's to, manage the clock better. So if you're playing football, you need to get out of bounds to save time on the clock. Then the coach's job is to help the players understand the current moment.
The power of the present.
Because if you are running plays based on the past, right, versus right now, and what I mean by that, to clarify, is if you're running plays of what needs to be done now, that's what helps you get further in the game. Because when the players are listening to the coach and operating in their spot, in their role on that play, that team wins.
Yeah.
That team wins.
And it goes right back to the personalities. It goes right back to the difference between genuine people and nice people. Because you're going to find out, too, when it comes to energy vampires and those people who want to bring you down, there are going to be people who will be nice to your face and talk smack behind your back.
Ooh.
And that is true. I've experienced those
Another
people.
sports analogy, locker room.
Go on. Let's go. Let's hear it.
So if it's in a locker room, man, it ain't supposed to come out. Because when the team is together, when they are pretty much growing and living together for a long time during the season, right? They have trust. They have this whole bridge concept where they know it's a safe space to kind of be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Away from the public eye. So if something leaks outside the locker room, that safe space, so does that trust. That trust goes out the window.
Yeah.
And now you got chaos.
I mean, once that trust slips, once again, you can't. No, there's this analogy too, not sports, but for the people who aren't into sports, if a plate breaks on the floor, you can fix it, but the cracks are still going to be there.
Ouch.
That goes with the trust, losing the trust. You're breaking the plate. You can apologize and mend it, but they're always going to remember, I told this person about this situation and they told someone else. I don't think I can tell them about this situation now, or I don't think I can get real advice. Because in a way we can detect those people is how intact are they with negativity, with negative talking? You know?
Yeah.
Like, do they say, it's okay, you can talk to me and I will accept you, You can really tell the way someone talks. If they're genuine and say, yeah, you can talk to me, like, it's totally cool, like, you're safe with me, versus, yeah, what did she do? And they'll feed off of it.
Action to speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
Because you can be told one thing.
And then they'll do it the opposite.
Exactly. So personality is personality. You kind of pick up on someone who might lie all the time. Or you might pick up on someone who's just, like you was talking about, being genuine, just real. I always like saying, keep it real, keep it 100.
Exactly. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you tell me something. I'd rather you not lie.
Because when people are 100, then everybody else is 100. For the most part.
Exactly.
Because you can't control the other person, obviously. But you can eventually pick up on that kind of trait, if you will.
No, it's so true.
It's easy to know if someone's 100 because if they're 100 with you and you feel like it's a safe space and there's no issues, then guess what? You picked up on a personality that's real.
Exactly. And
that's what it's all about. Surrounding yourself. Because like we're talking about, you surround yourself with like-minded people. What does that mean?
You're on the same frequency, on this wavelength.
Boom.
And before we wrap up and all this stuff too, it's just another thing that I want to say is whenever you're genuine, those people who aren't are just going to file themselves out naturally.
And they're going to try to find a way to control you too.
Exactly. I mean, that's why that was a big reason why I was going through all that mental health stuff like 2 years ago. There was this person who was in my life that like, because they couldn't manipulate me and because I was stronger than listening to what they had to say and because all of these different things, because I was genuine, they made me sound like I was crazy. The people who cannot manipulate you will make you feel crazy. People who cannot manipulate you will make you feel like you're crazy. And I want to tell you right now, you're not. Because so-called nice people who aren't genuine keep it very lukewarm, very surface. They don't let out their vulnerable sides. They can't allow you to see that. It's, oh, I only do this, I only do that, I only do that. That's why I'm being real right now. Because honestly, I'm a human. I mess up, I make mistakes, but that doesn't mean I'm bad. That just means I'm a human. And that's it. Because now I know with these mistakes, I'm just going to keep growing with them. You know? And there's a lot of people.
Before, you either get better or you get bitter.
Yeah. Exactly. And there's a lot of people who don't speak their mind. They speak the minds of others.
Boom. I can't get that one out, man.
I know. Shemaiah literally, it's so true. It is so true.
I love this next phrase. I've been saying it for the past month. Like, save for the people in the back.
Yeah. So, are you going to say it real quick or you want me?
No, I want you to say what you just said. Like,
right.
Save for them in the back, man.
A lot of people don't speak their mind. They speak the minds of others.
Ouch.
It's so true. We need to make that into like a graphic. Post it.
I need y'all to marinate that. I know I'm talking about food, make y'all hungry, but you need to let that marinate because, man, just let that sink in.
No, it's so true.
Because if you really think about it, I'm gonna paint this picture because I know we got to go, man. We can't over welcome.
Come on, Shemaiah, the artist
space up here. But,
your microphone's the canvas.
Oh, man. See, she's dropping bars, man. So I'm going to drop my next 4-8 bars right here.
Let's go.
If you think about it like this, man, we always talk about leaving your mark on history. A lot of people need to dust off their paintbrush, first of all. Mm-hmm. A lot of us need to go find some fresh paint. We
need to go dip in a little bit of water. Let's soak for just a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
Because what I'm trying to say is like our whole life is built with different moments and different seasons. Mm-hmm. And whenever someone really, I can't speak for everyone, so I'll just speak for myself. Boom, Shemaiah.
Yeah.
When I used to try to like make things happen, right? I would do it the wrong way. Mm-hmm. I would be like, okay, this would be my goal, but I expect it in 30 days, or I expect it tomorrow, or I expect it whatever. Versus thinking of it from this perspective, what do I need to do to move forward?
Exactly.
Because a lot of times we want to worry about what others should do around us because we want to play the blame game. Well, it's because this person didn't show up on time, or so-and-so said this.
I admire so much when people just take responsibility.
Man.
Because
she slammed dunk. I didn't even throw the ball yet.
I know. Are you willing to be a prisoner of the past or a pioneer of the future?
Man, she it's like she just read my mind because I was really about to go that I was going to say responsible, but it's the same thing. I was going to say you had to find a moment when you start to be accountable.
Exactly, responsible, accountable.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same street. Mm-hmm. We're going the same direction.
Yeah.
But when people start to understand that when you're around like-minded people, it's because you know your mind, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't know your mind, if you don't know you, then it's chaos.
Absolutely.
So therefore, you can't attract good people in your life because you yourself are in chaos. You're not really developing yourself. Because when I was saying real quick, because I know we got to go. I said that like 5 minutes ago. But when
it's just so powerful what we're talking about. We're in this present moment.
I have to get this out because I think it's important. like I was talking about, when you're living your life, is within moments and within seasons how you build your life. As far as like when people read your biography, you know what I'm saying? That Sophie lived a great life, but these are the chapters within that great life. Not every chapter is the best one, but it's part of the story.
It is.
And I feel like people can grab that, especially in today's world where we're all absorbing different things on social media and the news, and we got so many options now. See, back in the day, we didn't always have options as far as how we get all this content instantly and from everywhere, from TV, from emails to, smartphones, whatever. What I'm getting at is, don't try to hurry up your life. Just hurry up and get ready. And then take action. See, a lot of times we have it backwards. We want things to hurry up and be better for us. But what are you doing?
Shemaiah, right when you just said action, there's only truth in actions and consequences.
Not in thoughts.
There's only truth in actions and consequences. And the thing is, overthinking is not your problem. That's just a symptom of anxiety and not living in the present moment.
I believe that.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And we just want to shift into that gratitude state, because the happiest people...
We want to shift our minds, but not our bodies.
Because if you knew the power of your thoughts, you would never, ever think a negative thought again.
I feel like 50% of people understand us, and the 50 people... say that like 10,000 times fast as
50-50.
50% of other people are probably like, man, what are they talking about?
But then these other people got their popcorn and they're like,
more.
God.
Make this like a 2-hour show.
I know.
Because I feel like it's going to be like that if I don't show up. So, man, I hate to leave a cliffhanger, but hey, we're going to have to pick this up for next week. I know, guys. Don't send no angry messages, but that's how it is, man. You only got so much time in the studio. But once again, on the plug, for sure, Home Real Estate.
Oh, Tony Talman.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Brian Smith and Tony Talman. Shout out to them, because I know they're going to be listening to this. And
then go listen to my segment on there, too. I give out some social media tips every single week. And we talk a little bit about frequency as well. Shout
out to them and their shows on Saturdays. And you can catch them on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. That's 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com if you want to check out their list of guests that they have every single Saturday. And make sure I'm not going to give wrong information because I don't have all my notes on what they do, but I'm just going to say real estate, safe spot. That's a safe area.
Yeah,
so it's all about real estate. They got really special creative guests that come through in the business world who are doing big things, not just in San Antonio, but they got connections all throughout the country. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, they do.
I said that taking a risk because I just know how they are. They are very strong leaders in the San Antonio community when it comes to business owners. So without further ado, Sophie, what do you want to say before we check out? Because I know you got a link that you're going to be talking about how people can do this personality quiz.
Yes. So we'll be obviously posting the link in the description of this podcast. Personality, find out what your strengths and weaknesses are. And if you want to go ahead and talk to them about me, just message me on Instagram. Tell me what type you are and let's chat about how we can work through it together. You can also message Shemaiah too. I know he'd be interested in listening to what y'all have to say about your strengths and weaknesses, because he's an awesome dude, awesome entrepreneur as well. He's got a lot of great things going on.
I'm a chill guy. I play behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whether it's music, whether it's video, whether it's whatever.
Sports.
Sports. See, that's the funny thing. We don't have time for it, but I'm going to squeeze a little 30-second. I did play sports. I just never went pro. So there you go. That's that story. But
yeah, go.
No, I was going to say, like, we have a purpose in life, and I'm doing it on the microphone. Boom.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, for me, I didn't come here to necessarily be positive. I just came here to be real.
That's what I'm saying.
But my real is my positive. But my real is my positive. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there's the people who are fake positive, who are just I'm positive.
You're going to sniff it out. You know what I'm saying? All right. I know this is graphic, y'all. But a fake person is like someone who don't take a shower, but they will put on cologne. Trying to cover up that mess. All right, that's another show.
That is another show. Y'all tune in next week for those people who don't take a shower. Y'all tune in next week.
Man.
But I didn't come here to be positive. I didn't come here to be negative. I didn't come here to do all this.
Just be yourself.
I came here to be real. I came here to keep it hot, not lukewarm.
Somebody need a hashtag be you.
Be you.
Be you, man.
Be you.
I'm gonna make a t-shirt.
We should do that. We'll sell them as Intentionally Me podcast t-shirts.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I'm gonna make a Be You t-shirt.
That's awesome.
All right, y'all heard it first. Breaking news. I'm literally gonna do it. Like, I'm serious. And when we do it, I'm gonna have.
We should do a collab with it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So your next event, Be You t-shirts.
We'll be selling them.
Oh man.
But hey, remember, if you haven't signed up for Intentionally Me Vision Boarding Night, go to the description of my Instagram.
Few seats
Anna
left,
Almer
y'all.
is 5.
Hurry up.
There's really a few seats left. Anna Almer is 5. Instagram, link in my bio. RSVP. Once again, it's free. You have no excuse. Come be real. Be you at Intentionally Me, because that's what it's all about. You're going to be intentionally yourself. Also, look up on Facebook, Intentionally Me Vision Boarding Night. Obviously, you already know it's always going to be in the description of these shows. Thank you so much for listening. Shemaiah?
Oh, yeah. So thanks, like she said. I want to echo that. Thanks for listening to the show. Numbers are going bazooka. So I'm just making up words because I can do that as the host. But it's really going like bonkers because we're getting a lot of downloads every week. So, man, tell a friend
Just
to share this. Like, if you ain't sharing, you're not caring. That hurts our feelings, man.
Yeah.
But either way,
as my type 2 personality.
Either way, we're still going to make shows. So
of course we are. Because that's us. Because I never work a day in my life. This is what I love to do.
Hey, this ain't work. This is just play. But I know y'all tired of this episode because we're going extremely overtime. But real quick, one last plug. 9:30 a.m. The Answer. You want to check out Home Real Estate Show? It's every single Saturday, 9 o'clock, right?
Yes.
9 o'clock
at
in
9
the morning.
Till 10.
But you can get it anywhere, anytime, on demand. If you check out the podcast, just
on Apple too.
Yeah, check it out everywhere, man. Just put Brian Smith, Tony Talman, and Home Real Estate Show, and there you go. And we gotta show them love because, like I said, man, this is made possible because 9:30 a.m. The Answer. They care about you. They care about your life. They care about what you're doing. And the content that you're getting, I'm telling you, is all about value. And without going another 30 minutes, because I'm telling you, when you hang out with Sophie, it's almost like, yo, I can't stop talking. Like, any other time, I'm mute. But when she comes in the room, hey, I'm just like rapping.
Spill it.
I'm just rapping. So with all that mumble jumble stuff, I want to say thank you so much, like we said earlier in the show, for tuning in. And this is Iron Focus Radio. Your host, Shemaiah Reed, with Sophie, and we are out.
Boom.